it could negatively impact them. It could positively impact them because some people perform better when they're not speaking.
That's also a possibility. I'm not going to lie. But looking at the draft so far, we got RSG Malaysia as first pick and Bigatron Beta as second pick. Angela Carmilla, interesting first phase ban from RSG MY. Bigatron Beta, they got rid of the Moskov as well as the Harith.
I feel like when the Carmilla is banned, it shows that you're going to use a composition that's pretty strong alongside the turtle takes as well as the Lord takes. And you don't want anything to really ruin your formation. And looking at this, RSGMY has done some research on Bigatron Beta, knowing that they're a team that really likes to out-sustain the opponents. Banning the Angela as well as the Foreign is a good show of respect towards Bigatron Beta.
I think even more so to show that they've done their homework, they first pick Minotaur as well, right? I think that way they can completely shut out Bigatron Beta and force them into some of the lower tier or at least slower scaling Enchanter style mages. But at the same time, right, they still play around Zyve, and the fact that they've already gotten rid of Loliel's top picks of Moskov and as well as Harith really goes to show whether or not, like, I think Bigatron Beta is setting up for a Natan first pick as well.
Louis has been picked up. One thing that I do have to say, because of the Moskov as well as the Harith ban, Natan is going to be a high priority here. Natan, Roger, as well as Quad. Those are, when the bans have happened, those are the S-tier pickups, especially Natan. But the thing is, the Natan is very counterable with a very good EXP. So if Bigatron Beta picks this up, it is going to be on to Bornzy to be able to handle a Natan gold lane.
All right. Let's see whether or not it's going to be Natan at all. I mean, we're going based off of what we've seen from Bigatron Beta, right? Unless there are other priority picks, I'm thinking that, like, Natan Minotaur doesn't sound too bad. Or maybe they realize that, hey, that might be showing too much. Maybe we could just start off with our Marksman and Jungler.
Oh, looks like they're going to pick up the Fredrin as well as the Novaria, which I feel like the Novaria is a little bit too early, but it does show that they understand, based on the bans that RGMY has had, is that they want to fight alongside the Turtle. Fredrin as well as Novaria is amazing when it comes to the Turtle fights because of all the chain CCs that the Fredrin can do, and the poking damage coming in from the Novaria, making it so that before the fight even starts, RGMY will be at a disadvantage. I mean,
it's also going to help the decision-making from Bigatron Beta, right? Especially with the Astral Echo kind of opening up the map to give a rough idea whether or not whether Izanami is going to be that guy who sends the rest of the team into the flanks. But here, another Menace Edith locked in with Roger to follow up for Loliel's. He's going to try and win out his lane. It looks pretty clear what RSGMY is trying to do.
I would argue the only thing that makes it a bit unclear is that this Edith can still be flexed to the EXP, as well as this Roger can be flexed into the jungle. I kind of feel like this is what Coach Sora wants to do, is to add a little bit of confusion over to Bigatron Beta. The Roger is pretty good at the gold lane right now because the options that are open are the Natan as well as the Claude, and both don't really win out against the Roger. So if they put this Roger into the gold lane, they have priority over that one lane.
Do you think there's a possibility that Vinogo might get his hands on the Roger instead and then put Lolios on something that, instead of winning the lane, look to scale, right? Give him the time, give him the Claude even, arguably even a carry.
I would say the only thing that I do not like is because knowing this team very personally is that they have a very bad win rate when it comes to the Claude gold lane. Even if Loliel does well, the team does not. Even though Claude works really well with the Lu Yi, like, you can farm crazy fast, but something about RGMY, man, they don't do well when they have the Claude.
Maybe Claude is the problem here. But
Claude is the problem.
Even for Bigatron Beta, they're like, okay, let's get rid of Lolita. We just don't want those autos coming from live back at us. We'd rather not deal with it. I think it's okay. 25 more seconds as RSGMY hold on to priority. And I think at this point, do they just start targeting the EXP sector?
I feel so. But if they want to double down, they could ban something like the Rafaela. Oh, Matilda. Forgot about Matilda. But Matilda, Rafaela is good bans if you want to double down. If you don't want to ban those, maybe look something towards a Yuzong or a Terizla ban.
Okay, Yuzong.
Maybe even a Lapu Lapu ban. But the only thing is Terizla is good against the Lu Yi because if you use your penalty zone, you can cancel the diversion. So I feel like it's either those two, the Rafaela or the Terizla, maybe even the Yuzong.
Maybe even the Yuzong. I think the Yuzong isn't too bad of a shout. It seems like it's within Bornzi's hero pool. Maybe I would say even the Lapu Lapu doesn't sound like a bad idea, but we'll see where the ideas, or at least where the investments are going to be done for the ban section.
Minotaur might be a good ban as well.
That's the thing, right?
Yeah.
They could go multiple different ways with this. At the end of it, I think that RSG is content saying, hey, if we get rid of all these supports, we're going to see either a support or an EXP. Either way, we can adjust accordingly. Oh, Arlet, great ban.
Arlet ban here, pretty good putting him inside the roam as well as the EXP position. Ruby doesn't show too much because can be flexed as well, so pretty good pickup here coming in from Bigatron Beta, making it so that it's going to be a little bit more difficult for RGMY to really hard engage on their comp.
Very smart, and it can be flexed as well, right? So no matter what, ideally the Edith would have not want to deal with the Arlets. RSG got rid of it. Bigatron Beta are like, you know what? What's even worse than the Arlet? Here's the Ruby. So even if you go for the Primal Wrath, we can yoink you right back into the into our team battle lines and then look to close you out before you can sustain. Now, RGMY, they got to finish off their comp.
I really feel like what they have built for themselves is quite a good dive comp here. And Lancelot, that's
Hey, man.
It could be Courage or it could be the other thing.
It could be, but keep in mind that Vinogo has played in the SPS before, previously under the banner of the Philippines, playing under Game Lab as their main jungler, and Lancelot was one of his, core picks, but now RCMY finishing off their comp with the Lance as well as the Grok. What do you feel about this comp so far?
I feel like it's good because if the Grok can slow down the Frederick, because
that's a good point.
What Bigatron Beta wants to do is get a pretty good early start and then start harassing the jungle, making it so that Vinogo doesn't get a good farm. So if Stone is able to delay that, then that's going to be good for him, because Assassin so far hasn't been doing well just because they're having a difficult time farming. If Vinogo gets a good farm, I would say he has a good shot to deal with the composition of Bigatron Beta. Now having the Franco... Okay, here's the thing. I feel like even with the Franco there, the Lancelot is good. It's just that he needs the farm. Just avoid the Lancelot, just avoid the Franco.
It's kind of tough, right? Because Bigatron Beta, they like to kind of play together as a full squadron once they kind of get out of the laning phase. And I think that's the biggest problem that I see here, that this Lancelot during the team fights is going to have a bit of a rough time having to dodge Ruby, having to dodge Fredrin, CC, especially Franco, which would be the most obnoxious.
This is going to be a good test for RSGMY because Vinogo hasn't been performing well so far on those utility junglers, especially the fighter junglers. So if he performs well with the Assassin, with the Lancelot here, then I think this is going to show a much different RSGMY that other teams have to respect.
Okay, well, if this is the new face, the other side of RSG Malaysia, the Bigatron Beta has something to worry about unless they keep to their style, play to what they are the best at, which is towards Zyve. We'll see how this plays out with RSGMY on the blue side up against their opponents. Bigatron Beta on the red side. Both purple buff starts.
Yeah, it looks like... I think this is more on Bigatron Beta not wanting to start on the same side as RSG. So I'm really looking at this Fredrin, and he probably wants to start getting inside the jungle of Vinogo. So I think he himself wants to get a level 5 very quick. And Lolio, quite a lot of HP chunked down, but so far looking pretty good.
Yep, really, really good. Bigatron Beta do this all the time, right? They have these early engagements in the laning phase at level 1, usually around Zyve as well as the Roamer, just to kind of create a huge life lead, right? Especially when they're up against like high priority hero lane bullies like Roger. Once you chunk him out hard enough, then it's like, man, the amount of pressure in the lane relieves itself.
Looking at the visual here, it looks like Lolio's having a bit of a problem with his device because I think he was logged out, so he's gonna log back in. So not a good trade for Lolio. Not sure if something happened that caused him to have that bad trade, but I would say it's not the end of the world if he can still stay in his lane. So I'm really looking at RSGMY. Maybe Stone has to rotate to his lane a little bit early, making it so that he is able to get the other wave. so that he doesn't get left behind. Because if the Roger gets left behind against a skilling hero like Natan, it's not going to be good.
Yeah, it's not going to be easy at all. Especially once Natan hits level 4, I think that's already a bit of a problem for the Roger if he doesn't have like an EXP advantage, doesn't have like a gold advantage of any sort. I mean, it's all about power spikes here. And I think, you know, looking at like the first items from both sides, I'm not seeing boots. They are just rushing first items here, right? Or
yeah, the thing is as well, Zyve is level 2, Lolio is level 1. So I really do feel that Natan was able to clear up his lane, and I think Lolio just body blocked a lot of the basic attack damage.
I think Finn, I mean, technically Finn did show up, so I'm assuming he landed a hook, or I'm assuming he forced Lolio's like out of position towards like the brush side so that Zyve can really limit down on the angles.
Other than that, looking at everything else, everything looks pretty standard. So looking at the players, they look pretty okay. It doesn't look like there's any problem on their side, so I feel like we're gonna be resuming now.
Maybe we should talk to Zipper about getting the what do they call it when the marshals are just like type 2, type 1 issues and then starting up? There's a term for it. I'll get back to it later, but for now, let's see the emblems.
I would say for now, the only thing that's something that we have to talk about is the popularity of Thrill. A lot of EXP laners, gold laners, and even roamers are picking up Thrill. Well, we see Cho roam and now even Grok roam having that Thrill just so that they have a very good early advantage. So if anything, analysis-wise, that's the thing that you have to analyze. And this is good coming in from Finn as well as Zyve, where they preemptively take their own jungle creep, knowing that Worship Wall isn't going to rotate that area anyways, so take it away from Vinogo. So I think that's a very good rotation coming in from Bigatron Beta, understanding the jungle pathing coming in from Vinogo and denying him of what he wants.
Yeah, it's good stuff. It leaves Lolio's... Oh, almost. Finn almost landing that hook there. A bit of anti-synergy, but it's okay. As long as Lolio's knows that his presence is there, he's going to be very careful in this lane against Zyve. It looks like the Yin-Yang reaction not connecting any one of them just yet. They've marked them, but it looks like they're all still the same colors.
For now, it does look like for both teams, they do want to contest this turtle. I would say between these two, Worship Ball definitely has a better time, especially if Narashi can zone them away. For now, he's not really zoning them away. Vinogo is able to get level 5, so even though I say Worship Ball should have the advantage, one level ahead, that's big. Yeah,
I think Worship Ball should be able to catch up here, but doesn't want to use that Retribution. They're going to be fighting out as Storm jumps straight with onto Worship Ball, and Bornzy as well, following up with the Primal Wrath. They do get the kill onto Izanami, unfortunately, but they've already taken the turtle. They've already gotten their kill. Narashi escapes as well.
I would say RSG Malaysia had two different ideas where I kind of feel like they were a little bit greedy. I feel like the idea is good. It's just that they have to be a little bit more careful on the execution because Izanami dropping down, at least he got an assist, so it's not the end of the world, but you want to be able to let your mid laner scale up pretty well. And Storm taking quite a bit of damage, but still able to be well just because he's close to the wall, so he has extra magic resist.
Yeah, these iron hooks are getting closer and closer as Finn refuses to leave the bottom side of the map, allowing at least allowing Zyve to have as much pressure as he wants to, because in Lolo's position, I'm scared of getting flickered bloody hunted by Finn.
Right now, looking at the itemization here, Lolio already has his Wind Talker, and Zyve having his Feather of Heaven. So this is a very good start coming in from both gold laners. Looking like Lolio doesn't really get punished that much in the lane, which is pretty good. The not so good thing is that the Natan, his own farm, hasn't really been delayed all that much. And funny enough, Vinogo, 0 damage. He hasn't really participated in any damage numbers so far, but I think it makes sense because he wants to farm up first. I believe after one item, then he can start to look for fights. If it's not comfortable, going for that second item first does make sense.
It does look like he is trying to set up for a War Axe. The diversion, unfortunately, good read coming in from a Bigatron Beta. They're going to respond to this, however, and maybe intercept them midway through the river. Do they figure it out, though? Does RSG feel the same way? They're posturing around it. They are sending Storm to kind of check out the area, scout them out, and it looks like everything's all right. Nobody dies.
One thing to add is that Vinogo just completed his War Axe, so the second turtle is always crucial for both teams because this is the timing where most players will have their first item. So a lot of the power spike will be after this first turtle, because usually after the second turtle, you get to control the jungle.
Oh, Iron Hook lands onto Storm so far. Entropy is already being sent out as Izanami forced to flicker away. Like and Pounce doesn't do as much work as he wants to, but at least he gets the Rashi as Bornzy is the next to fall to Finn. Bloody Hunt still on a line, despite 3 battle spells being broken. Finn holding on strong with the Bloody Hunt.
Vinogo has the level advantage here, but it looks like they're going to reset this, not going to take the chance. Oh, never mind. They want to continue. Finn is going straight on to Vinogo, and Vinogo has the turtle, goes over to Bigatron Beta. I feel like that is a very good choice, because that would have been bad if Vinogo dies, especially when his purple buff is just about to spawn.
Yeah, no, I totally agree there. But Finn really holding on to that trigger finger, just making sure that he, as long as he has the threat of his ultimate still looming, RSG Malaysia are just trying to play around it. And it's a little frustrating, but an Iron Hook connects, and that's the Bloody Hunt. Zyme should be able to find this kill, KOing Lolios instantly. Stone with the conceal, but really doesn't get too much. A little late on the draw.
Looking at the itemization as well, it does look like Worship Ball is going to be a much more aggressive Fredrin, because his first item is the Brute Force Breastplate. So he can stay in the fight for a very, very long time. He's going to have one of the more important stats, which is he's not going to be CC'd all that long. So Bigatron Beta looks like they're much more aggressive here. How do they always know a diversion is coming in? I don't know if they have vision on that bush, but
I don't think they have vision as well. This one could have been a little bit of coincidence, to be fair. However, on the top side, we do see that Dan QT completely not part of this fight, right? He's trying to clear that top side, but Vinogo is just denying him that space. Worship Ball on top of Storm for now. Even Bornzy is here. Entropy coming in from Zyme to get aggressive. Bornzy forced to use the Primal Wrath, instantly goes down. Even Storm trying to disengage with the wild charge. It looks like Bigatron Beta slowly chipping away at RSGMY.
This is something that we could have predicted because of the first item, Brute Force Breastplate. Having that cooldown makes it so that you have access to your energy eruption much sooner. So RSG Malaysia have to be careful, because you would think that the Franco is the only way to initiate a fight. You have to look at Fredrin as someone that can initiate a fight as well.
Oh, Iron Hook lands onto Stone once again. He doesn't have the chance. He ends up dying. But Narashi does find the initial I'm offended. Worship Ball tanks through all of the damage that RSG Malaysia has applied.
For now, RSG Malaysia, they're slowly losing the map pressure because they lost. Oh, hold on. I don't think they know about his diversion, but only Vinogo comes in.
Vinogo's, he walked out of the bush for half a second, and they spot him now. The Iron Hook lands on top of him. He's able to Thorn Rose away. Worship Ball is low. Oh, execution, no! It doesn't matter. Zyme is able to cancel him out and also take the turtle at the same time. A disaster for RSGMY as Bigatron Beta just winning on every single front.
We can see the idea, but the execution really isn't there. I like the creativity coming in from RSG Malaysia, trying to attack from multiple different angles, but you gotta be a little bit more patient.
It was so close. Mid-tier 1 going to fall. Oh, the game reaction looks good on top of Narashi while trying to knock some 3. But once again, Lolios finding it. His kill shots don't miss, and everybody else starts to fall. Bornzy dies in train, but that's a 3. But make it. Well, at this point, I might as well confirm it. Make it 4. No, they give up. They don't want to chase Worship Ball anymore.
I mean, like, here's the thing. Oh, never mind. It looks like these do want it, but no, the minions are there.
He can do this.
He should do this. He gets the kill. So this is a wipeout. RSG Malaysia off of the mistake coming in from Bigatron Beta, where they overextended. I feel like that was a good idea. You want to get the mid lane, but somehow RSG Malaysia, through the yin-yang reaction coming in from Izanami, really connected everything through, especially Stone using the wild charge to set it up just to delay them a little bit, have the time for Izanami to get his cooldowns to activate that yin-yang reaction. That was big. This is a good mid-duo connection.
Yep, this is good. This is good stuff, and especially since Izanami is designed to be the anchor for the team that RSGMY can actually fall back to. It's actually good that RSGMY gives up this space to Bigatron Beta just so that Izanami can get a couple of free dispersion shots.
Yeah, right now, Stone, it looks like, looking at the damage, it looks like even though Dan Cutie has the Lightning Truncheon, Stone is able to tank that because he has the Athena Shield. RSG Malaysia as well as Bigatron Beta, we gotta look at a goal lead here. The Natan is 2,000 above Lololio, so even though Bigatron Beta lost their final fight, in terms of items, oh wait, I just noticed the Natan has a Holy Crystal.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
I'm telling you, here comes the dispersion. diversion comes to the top side of the map.
Don't show face.
Don't. Oh, okay. Okay. If it's just Borzi, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine, right?
Oh, with the Lord.
Wait, Bigatron Beta. They're just rushing it down. They don't care. They're going to make the attempt anyway. Borzi's going to try flickers forward to try and catch Zyve. Zyve takes the entry backwards, and Vinogo is down. He's taking too much damage as Borzi in the primal half court trying to hold on the backline, getting attacked by Lola Yells here. Storm, his wall charge was good, but not good enough for the outfit. Iron Hook from across the screen. Borzi ends up falling 2-3 for nothing, and even another neutral objective for Bigatron Beta.
I don't know how Bigatron Beta is doing this, but they have RSG's number. They know whenever the diversion is being used, they're like, hey, they're roughly in this area. They're not going to be able to contest this Lord take. It's like, usually people would hesitate against a Louis, but they're like, nah, they already use the diversion. They're not going to do anything to us. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they establish this kind of vision to be like, we know they can't contest this. We can rush this.
I mean, I've been noticing that the Narashi is walking in an interesting way. And same goes for Dan QT, right? It looks like they're using the coverage of the Astral Echoes, even if they have to use it blind to be totally fine. And I think that Narashi is giving enough coverage to know that in no man's land, at the very least, we're not seeing anything. We're seeing no presence whatsoever. There's a good chance that they're going to try for a flank angle.
I don't know if it's more on the coaching staff really making all of the players understand how the macro plays from a Louis is going to work, or the players themselves just been playing with a Louis for so long that they've like, in this time, these are the bushes we have to take care of. If they're in none of these bushes, we're safe. Because these are the little ones, and these are the ones where it's like, you don't usually go for that, but because if you go for that, there's not a lot of plays that you can do. So I kind of feel like, I understand your point. Dan, Cutie, Narashi, check the little bushes. If they're not there, we're safe.
Yeah, I mean, look at the way that they're boxing off the map, right? They first ensure that their backs are clear. Then when they start encroaching space, they check every single one of these bushes and make sure they have a perimeter around themselves. If they expect RSG Malaysia to come from their backs, they can be slowed down with the Astral Echo, but they also make sure that Narashi is nearby just in case things go wrong.
Either way, it's very impressive. Narashi, Stone was able to immune that CC, but again, Bigatron Beta, they're showing impressive macro understanding. This is why I say even though they're in the MDL, they are really feeling like MPL level because, again, going up against a Louis is so difficult. That's why it's always bad because of the unpredictability. But if you can predict it, apparently it's not that big of an issue.
Or it's just their coach on the side is like, they're on the top side. That'd be so funny.
I doubt it. I mean, like looking at how they've been playing, especially Dan Cutie, I kind of feel like he's probably the one letting them know.
You think it's Dan?
Green light, red light. It's like, green light, go. Red light, red light, red light, red light. No, 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 no.
We gotta back up, we gotta back up, we gotta back up. Right now, they still have the Astro Echo, right? Do they? Oh, Worship Paul! That's 2 with a wild charge! As Leos has to take the Lycan Pounce backwards. He's done enough damage. They move themselves away. They don't find priority targets, and they just don't have the damage to one-shot Worship Paul.
I feel like it's a caster thing.
Is it?
The moment we say they know exactly where they are, they walk straight into the bush. It's like they've been doing it perfectly this entire match. The one time we bring it up, they get caught.
Look, it happens all the time, and they do. Wait, they brought boards in. He gets hit by the Iron Hook. Flickers out of there, forced to use a primal. Rap, they sent in a suicide bomber, and he's still alive.
He committed to that. I mean, like, if you're gonna commit to it, like, go. Like, have everyone on board.
That's so wild, bro. That's so wild.
I mean, that's unexpected.
It is unexpected, but here they go. Narashi trying to zone them off as Worship Paul. He's so close to it. Where's the Phantom Execution coming on from Vinogo? He's judging the damage. Earth Shatter doesn't connect just yet, but Zyve is here. Entropy is already chucked down Borzi. He's low. Vinogo is still looking towards that Lord side, but no, they get into the middle of that fight. Thorn Rose is good, but Zyve takes out Storm already. Gets Vinogo in one fell swoop. Give him the Lord as well. A double for Zyve.
He Iron Hook Vinogo mid-dash.
That's wild, right?
Mid-puncture. Like, okay, what? It's one thing. Oh, hold on. Dan Cutie gets sniped by Dan Cutie. The one bush you didn't check.
One bush.
Lolio's trying hard. He's trying to carry C, but it's not going to work out. Oh, he's still survived.
He's so low, dude.
Survives.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay, Zyve is a problem. I think it's clear to
He's a
say
problem. He's a
that
problem.
he is such a big problem for RSG Malaysia. They have, Bigatron Beta have invested everything into Zyve. He is 14,000 gold ahead.
Let me just say, if I'm playing a ton and the enemy doesn't have like Yuzong or Lapu or generally any kind of EXP laner that can basically ignore the front line and go straight for me, I'm not worried, man. I mean, like Edith is gonna have a difficult time trying to penetrate Bigatron Beta's front line.
Like, I mean, Borzi better hope to have at least this flicker to survive, but these inhibitor turns are taking quite the beating with the mid already gone here. At this point, Bigatron Beta, they've set themselves up for success. 8-13 is the kill score in favor of Bigatron Beta, but they're not letting RSG Malaysia walk out of their base, but they're consistently checking bushes.
Oh, look at that. Izanami is...
See, oh, no!
They know! They always know!
The poor guy! No, the Iron Hook lands as well.
How can I not say it's Dan Cutie? He astral echoes backwards. He's
So
like,
smart.
someone will be here.
Someone's going to be here.
He used his ult to check it.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Izanami, but at the very least, dying at this time is okay. Because for Izanami, 18 seconds is something that RNG MY can actually build. Unless Bigatron Beta says otherwise. If they get another inhibitor turret, I don't know how worth it is. Stola taking so much damage, he's instantly dead. Despite the wild charge, does not matter. That's another 36 seconds of being staggered. I think all these inhibitors are about to fall with Bigatron Beta knocking at their door, knocking at the crystal, looking to end this as soon as possible, forcing Bornzi to use that Primal Wrath. Zyve, he decides to take the entropy forward, almost destroying Bornzi's HP, but at the very least, he doesn't go down.
I mean, like, we gotta be frank. Bigatron Beta, they hit their power spike a long time ago because now the Natan is full build.
Oh, the good throw runs the dodge, but Narashi only finds one. Bornzi ends up dying regardless with the Astral Sphere coming in from Dan QT. Phantom Execution canceled once again, but no go, getting locked down. It's not even close here. The CC from Bigatron Beta. They did not let RSG MY move.
Dude, I gotta say, Bigatron Beta, they're not playing their usual healer composition, but they're looking